10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And welcome back to the mainstream, where we've got NaVi taking on LGD. If you want to continue watching some of those other games, check out the second, third, and fourth stream on Twitch or in Dota TV. Here we have NaVi. Or I'd really say, I feel like we use the word upsetting too much, too often during these group stages. All the teams are so evenly matched. This is the most competitive TI ever we've seen. NaVi taking game one against LGD, and LGD find themselves getting closer and closer to a lower bracket starting position with that loss.
And that is a scary position to go from. You have to play so many more games. You have to play those best of ones, which nobody really wants to do.
It's just one round of BO1s, I believe.
Yeah, but who do you
exactly?
Who do you really want to play against? The only team that has looked very weak here so far are Fnatic, VGR, and Escape, and even those teams are dangerous.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, they maybe have that one draft up their sleeve they can just pull out and create an upset. So
yeah, we saw Cinder take Execration out with that all-in Huskar, fucking him like crazy. That can happen to you.
Well, we'll see what can happen here. I mean, LGD probably with the better shot to start in the winner bracket than NaVi, who are 3 and 6 now after that win. They were looking very poor before that, but and most NaVi can end 8 and 6, which gets you top 4. But that's if they win the rest of their matches.
And they've got OG and Wings to go through. But you've got to hold on hope, and it starts here.
Yeah. So they're going to go back to the Dendi Mirana General Beastmaster. It feels like a bit of a switch up, seeing more Beastmaster, less Batrider, but it worked last game, and I think that's one of the adjustments NaVi have kind of made with Saniko's drafting.
I will say though that, and this is no disrespect to anybody on NaVi, but I think General makes this team work. I think when they picked him up, everything just started to click. He is their playmaker. In the pivotal fight, he was the one that locked down Aggressive and just took him out. I think runs through him right now.
Well, also perhaps why last game we saw the dual lane with him. They're like, let's just leave Ursa on his own, send Artstyle top, make sure that General has a good game. Not that he actually did have a good game, despite Artstyle being there. He started 0-3, but it was the general idea and concept of NaVi's lane.
He found his farm though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
I remember checking at Necrobook 2 at 15, and despite the start, I think that's perfectly acceptable. Teamfight wise, he was a beast. He got that refresher all of a sudden that we're just like, whoa, where'd that come from?
Ooh, well, NaVi gonna go back to a classic Drow strat. It's very heavy team fight from LGD right now. Last game it was very cooldown dependent, and it's a similar theme here. Metamorphosis and Tide Ravage, those are two big spells they're gonna need to fight around to stop the NaVi pressure and push.
Big thing though is, I think what really hurt them in the last game is that they never got aggressive on Navi's side of the map. And the one time they did, they botched the fight completely. I think for LGD to be successful in this game, you want to be using these cooldowns aggressively at all times, not just waiting for Navi to run into you. You want to be able to use them to take fights, and that's something that I felt like was incredibly missing in LGD's game.
Here you have Dieter, the Ursa from last game. He was a big playmaker, did make that one very costly death in mid lane, which slowed down Navi's snowball, and was actually in some ways a turning point in LGD's favor. Although,
yeah, where they just got fed the Ursa 900 gold on
to the
on
best
possible
hero.
Yeah.
That I think if not for that kill, Navi would have probably stopped that game a lot harder. But hey, the end result was still good and favorable, and not away from the rest of Dieter's fantastic.
Oh, he went insane.
Oracle for Navi. This is classic for them and something they're very comfortable with. Good defensive support to kind of pair with, and giving them some sustain to pair with their pseudo push strat.
The thing is, in this meta especially, cores matter so much because you're gonna get so much of the farm. We saw in the last game, like, he went insane, but it took that one mistake, and you can give away so much gold to the enemy carry. Can't this meta any raw and take it.
Well, both teams with their big playmakers left, maybe see what his hero is going to be, and then the carry art style, we'll see what his last is going to be for himself.
He really is. I was laughing so hard. I saw a bunch of people outside watching the game, and they were just laughing.
He's so much fun to watch as a player. He has such a unique playstyle with.
NaVi's turn
I don't
to
know.
pick.
How he positions him in the fight just seems like the most illogical thing. Normally it's like support, you sit back, protect carry. No, he protects his carries by running in and drawing attention to himself rather than sitting back and using a defensive grave like most Dazzles.
I've never seen a Dazzle run face first and simply pop a blade mail. I will say, out of like my 6-7 years of Dota, that is
5 seconds remaining.
definitely new to me. So
Yeah.
it worked though.
And we're laughing. We're not actually calling it a bad play or anything. It totally worked, and
It's just surprising.
yeah.
You don't expect it.
And you think Dazzle's running at you is like, okay, that means they obviously he's showing confidence that they can take the fight by running in. So you get scared, you want to run away.
Yeah. LGD, they're probably confused right now, and they don't look like they're in the best of spirits right now. Hard to read too much of their mood just based on this, but I can't imagine they're happy, especially after that last game.
So we're pretty concentrated. This is a team who always excels at the main event and takes some time to gel. I mean, classic.
LGD's
You go back to
turn
the
pick.
TI4 squad that won TI with Zhao Wei. That team almost got eliminated in the group stage because that was when only 8 teams made it to the main event. They were in that bubble race thing, and they were the number 12 team.
They
number,
would have.
Number 13 doesn't got eliminated.
If Liquid
10
had not lost that game
remaining.
against Arrow, then they would have gone through
Yeah.
for sure. That was what really
5
pushed
seconds
It was
remaining.
everything in motion.
A very fortunate situation that NaVi even made it into the main
Reserve
event,
time.
and then they go on to win it. That to me like sums up Zhao Wei as a cap. He's very similar to kind of like PPD, where he just adapts and grows throughout the tournament incredibly well.
I do agree, but the 2 times that we've seen them in the loser bracket, remember at TI3, that's where the term Liquid is doing it came from. And I think the other... I'm trying to think right now.
The TI5 Zhao Wei team ended up getting 4th.
They got pretty far in the upper though. I just think it's incredibly hard from the get-go to be in that loser bracket, those best of ones. You want to be in a position to be on this.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wants to start in the winner. He needs to have like the BO3 series start from the winner bracket. And that's the thing. TI4, it's like they had the rough group stage, they made it in, but everyone started in the winner bracket. It was 8 teams double lim, I believe. There.
No, that was the one where
How did that work?
TI4. No, it was single. Because I remember.
No,
I think so anyways.
it wouldn't have been single limb.
Was it
It was
not?
8 teams at the main event, and I think
some started at the bottom.
maybe he did start in the lower bracket at TI4.
Who
That's a
knows?
good question. Oh yeah, because four teams started. That was the weird format where you had only 4 start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's where they just
now I remember.
pretty much won TI after the first day.
Yep.
But LGD, they've got to pick it up here. I think they still have some chance to get through, but can't afford to lose the second game. And for NaVi, this would be a huge confidence booster for them if they can take the
10
series clean.
seconds remaining.
Miss mid. Well, Artstyle Chen, he is going to be all over that mid lane, and that's why they banned the puck. They want to ban those elusive, hard-to-kill heroes that can go mid. This is LGD saying, we can defend high ground, we can go late game, and we will put our faith and belief in Maybe's mid lane prowess.
I mean, he's delivered in almost every tournament that I've seen, and it actually feels like Aggressive is a player that so far has been punished the most on this team. And they've got to step up for this one, as they have drafted a lineup that can potentially go late game, but at the same time wants to put on the aggression with that Tidehunter Ravage and Aggressive's Terrorblade. But NaVi have met them. Your Chen strategy. Beastmaster, one of the best heroes to pair with this.
We'll see how things
10
unravel here.
seconds
Drafts
remaining.
complete. Who are you looking at? What are the kind of the key things for the
5
two
seconds
teams?
remaining.
I
You
think-
favor either?
LGD have to use their Ravages more smartly.
Yep.
In the last game, we saw one Ravage at 8 minutes, and then we saw another one at 25. And they want as frequently as possible in winning positions. For NaVi, it's to assault
Prepare for
all the
battle.
lanes as much as you can with art style, get aggressive, and position where you can take an early Roshan.
All right, well, we'll see how things get underway here as we'll introduce our two teams. NaVi, Artstyle and Chenson, Nico on the Oracle, one of his signature heroes, so to speak. General, the big playmaker, he's going to be handling the Beastmaster.
This team is so young.
Wow. Got LGD, aggressive, one of the younger players on the team who's 24. This is a team more of veterans. If you look at some of their players who are quote-unquote retired from competitive play but brought back in, MMY 26. Banana, there's the, well, not quite old man, 29. It's not 30 yet.
I never trust any of the Chinese players when they say they're done.
You know, that's actually more misrepresentation by the Western media, and like they don't actually say they're retiring. They say they're taking. Zhao never actually said I'm retiring. He said he's taking a break. Same thing was burning as well. It's like he's like I'm taking it. They don't actually use the word retirement.
Yeah. Western media.
You know, Western esports journalism.
Get on it.
Yeah. I don't know what's up there. Anyways, top rune. Here we go. Fight is brewing. And maybe get the bounty rune. The reflection on 4. He goes for the acid to try and secure this one. Dendi forced to leap away.
Oh no. That is maybe the roughest thing that can happen to you as an alchemist player.
Not getting the bounty rune?
Getting the bounty rune, but having the skill.
Oh, he didn't get the bounty. He went to the. Oh, he did. So
he did. He had to skip. Dude, it sucks. There's no way around it.
I mean, you win. You don't get the bounty rune potentially with the Greevil's Greed. Acid level 1's not too terrible. Like,
come on, dude.
You drop it.
Gold.
Yeah. But you like just drop it on mid, and your mid lane's a lot easier.
Kind of, but you really want that bounty rune.
No.
With the.
No, I agree.
Oh. Shao 8, be careful.
Yeah,
okay, he just
upon the tides.
He just straight up died, huh?
Okay.
That is the best possible time to pause. Just
Right
like
after.
reflect on your sins. That is maybe one of the odder I've seen. It's not even like they have frost arrows. They just kind of
right click.
yeah, that was.
He's sitting on low regen, no ring of protection.
He had no levels. That was
no Kraken at this point, so
that
no
was
damage
way
block.
too over aggressive.
Okay. Does have a bit of a creep wave at his tower when he respawns, but still.
I would even say suboptimal.
That Kunkka's. That's a cool Kunkka set. I like it.
You down with it?
I'm
What is
down
it?
with
Somebody said Kunkka's not a pirate. He's like an admiral, a commander.
Yes. So you're saying this is not a pirate set though.
Yeah.
He looks like an admiral with his hat.
He's very regal. Don't disrespect him by calling him a pirate.
My apologies go out to
bottom tower is under
Kunkka
attack.
and all the Kunkka players out there.
Yes.
Alright, they get the D-Ward bottom too now, so this off lane for Zhao Wei looks rougher and rougher. He didn't get any XP, so this is
Yeah, that was the
sad times.
when I clicked on his hero, I expected him to maybe be like halfway to level 2 at least when he died. He actually and that is not the kind of start that you want.
It will be that style, just jungling it up for now, looking to find some early creeps. Kunkka, Banana, hovering around this middle lane. Making sure that he could potentially help maybe should he need it. Throwing torrents, but not landing. No real kill potential between the Alchemist and the Kunkka.
Yeah. Top, Terrorblade just having a free game so far, like we expected. Nothing too big on either side. They're gonna make the run at General with that first level of Poison Touch and the Reflection, but the Torrent misses, and that might be enough for General to just kind of saunter away.
Yeah. He's still doing okay here. Hit his level 2. Similar story, Zhao Wei, actually, well, not similar story, he isn't level 2.
No, he has been.
Oh boy. And he's gonna get probably more than level 2 off of this big wave about to reach his tower, so.
I would like to see NaVi just dive in the tower.
Yeah, he's got frost arrows. If
Yeah.
you can zone him away from the. So I think Zhao Wei has to actually back off. Yeah, Dicha.
You see, they're just running at him with a wave to make sure that he doesn't get anything. They're going to deny under the tower as well. Get rid of some creeps from him. Just make his life hard.
Sad time for Tidehunter. Does get level 3 though, so he can fall back a little, start perhaps stacking some camps and preparing himself for some catch-up farm in the jungle. On the laning stage, not seeing a huge amount of action just yet. Normally you see Artstyle putting a lot of pressure in this mid lane, but the main thing is you need the right creeps if you want to gank a lane for the Mirana. You almost need like an ensnare into like a Centaur stun or something, or an ensnare into a Thunderclap. You need some kind of setup for the Mirana arrow.
Yeah. Or he just needs enough creeps where 2 disable creeps would be enough, I think.
Yeah.
Either those golems would have been enough, but opting not to go for them, and he's going to be pretty disappointed to find in the bottom camp that it's simply just going to be More Wild Wings.
More tornadoes. And he seems content to farm for now. Maybe that's the call for NaVi. Get your fast levels and then we'll push.
Oh, look what he's doing.
Radiant's middle tower
So cool.
is under attack.
He's using the tornado to farm the other side of the map.
Oh,
To
nice.
deny
Yeah, yeah,
potential
yeah.
stacks from the Alk.
Oh,
That's
that
awesome.
actually, that's something. Chunka's there at least to get XP in one of the CS.
Kind of. I don't think I've seen that before. Man, Artstyle just the innovator himself.
The hallowed one. The Sultan of Swag. I need to learn that full spiel.
I've never. That's cool. That's just cool.
Yeah.
He's not going to deny the bounty rune, unfortunately, from this alchemist, though.
So back mid lane has an Iron Talon, not an everyday item you see for an Alk, but not huge change up. Nothing that game changing. And here come NaVi towards the mid lane. Dendi has an invis rune and see Zhao Wei. They're going to slow him down first. Dendi does get hit by the Anchor Smash. Gets the double Starstorm off with the arrow. Gonna be close. They need vision for at least another Purifying Flame. There's not enough damage, and now he's going to heal up after this one.
Oh, Shao gets double heals. Be sad about that.
Not bad. The decent chunk of HP.
That was an ambitious attempt.
It was like a melee range arrow wasn't going to do all that much damage.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
An art style smoked up.
Here's-
Unfortunately, though, Dendi doesn't have the mana, though, to make this work. They're gonna try anyways, though.
They get the ensnare, but the Centaur was too far away to follow it up. Dendi wanted to go for the Starstorm, but he's going to need to arrow most likely. The slow from the Purge. Dendi can't arrow with the Kunkka there in front. Centaur stun does land. Now the X on the Dendi. Doesn't get the outcome he was hoping for. Doesn't hit this double Starstorm, but with the Test of Fate, Artstyle secures the Kunkka kill.
That was not exactly what they wanted, though.
And while that's going on, LGD recognize a lot of resources being invested there. They're pressuring top with Terrorblade.
Still, level 3 Beastmaster from General, not have the best laning phase. Hasn't been able to get too many creeps, and there's no stacks available for him as it has been stacking that Ancient Camp, which has now been blocked off by that ward, but overall, better laning phase from despite feeding that first blood, and NaVi, smoke kill. That was, like you said, a heavy investment, and all you got was a level 2 Kunkka out of it. That is not the prize that you wanted at the end of the day.
A lot of just small things kind of hurting now. Like having used so much mana and not killing the Tide meant they didn't have the arrow plus Starstorm for Dendi in the mid lane.
If maybe he gets a bounty from here, he's just blessed. Oh, godlike.
This guy's an Alk player.
It's the dream of every Alk player. Every single time you just walk to a rune, that's
Yeah.
3 times now, man.
Dendi will find a haste, which he's probably not too unhappy about.
Isn't that odd though?
By the way,
Alk is just like
Artstyle
sweet, a bounty
again.
rune.
He's clearing out the Alk's jungle camp with the tornado.
What a beast.
And if he wants, he can just leave the creep here to block it. Alk relies on this farm quite a lot. The way you get that fast radiance comes from this. And it's just not going to be accessible.
Yeah.
He's leaving the creep up there.
And unfortunately, Banana just hasn't had time to stack because he's going around the map trying to make kills happen.
Oh, he's actually going to suicide creep the tower. He's like, poor Wild Wing. Artstyle, is that how you treat your kids?
That is brutal, man. He was my hero. That Wild Wing Reaper did a lot. It got you like 4 creeps.
Yeah.
It is not a pleasant life to be a creep.
He's now at the top lane, though. He has the ideal trio of creeps to really go get tanky and get active.
Tomato creep, lead with it.
Yeah. NaVi smoking up around mid. They've got a level 7 Dichara Ranger, so do push decently fast off of this. May even look to see for it to get involved, but for now they're just happy to leave Dicha in the bottom lane, bring everyone else towards top, and setting up for a potential kill on aggressive.
Yeah, give Diara the solo XP. He can push down this tower by himself.
Oh, Suniko, he's ready. Ready to go for this dive. Tide does have Ravage. Could TP in. Here's Tide. Watch out for that Ravage. I don't know if NaVi will be expecting it, but they get the kill. Nice and quick. Zhao Wei has creep to deal with. He may just die. Without really getting off a good Ravage. Yeah, let's say. I was going to say he's going to die without the Ravage. He gets the Ravage off, but he may as well have not used it there.
Yeah.
There was no fight to take. Dendi going to be sent home, and now he can TP back out, so...
With no follow-up, like you said, that's possibly the worst possible result for GD. We talked about how important the Ravager was going to be in the previous game. We said he can't have a support performance. Well, in the first game, he at least got 2 kills out of that first Ravage. This time, absolutely whiffs, gets nothing.
That is troubling news for LGD. Very similar pull start similar to last game. This is in some ways like what you see a lot with them though. They go for these heavy team fight lineups with big late game carry, or in this case 2 big late game carries, and they struggle early game. They will be very hard to beat when it comes to pushing high ground, but this patch does not really favor these kind of drafts. We haven't seen them succeed.
And I think LGD right now, their style of playing, it just feels too slow. It feels like they're not playing at the pace that the other teams are. NaVi is exploiting that. They're getting aggressive all around the map. LGD simply just can't contend or keep up with that kind of pace. And I mean, right now, NaVi executing their game plan pretty well so far.
Yeah. Perhaps it becomes an all-in on Alchemist type game, but
we talked about Roshan, and it is an early one.
Well, here come LGD. They're in the neighborhood.
No Ravage though. They've got to be careful about this.
And NaVi, they may recognize, okay, Roach isn't the best idea, or maybe they're going to decide they still can, but regardless, they can just step out of the Roach pit and not get caught. They're not worried about losing a team fight around this area. Nana, caught out by the Purge. He's going to get chased down by the Shen creep. Artstyle has the Hand of God. Will heal up his creeps a little bit. Don't get that full heal anymore, and fortunately for him, he's going to lose his little army there. But
that is so much damage coming out of Diarra though.
Jeez, that may be Alchemist, even with the armlet just melting. Mirana gets the last hit, gets credited for the kill.
I mean, what could have just been them giving up Roshan and pushing out the waves and taking advantage of maybe that minute of respite completely, and instead they throw away their most important hero, and for their troubles they also lose Banana, who is horribly underleveled.
You need Ghost Ship if they want to try and team fight.
They need a lot of things right now.
Even when they get these ultimates like Ravage, Ghost Ship, they don't have that like reliable initiator. Kunkka could try walking and get an X, but if he's the one running in to get that off, he's just going to die. He'll get gusted, he'll get burst down. There's no way you can expect your Kunkka to start off a team fight.
I'm not sure how team fights are supposed to go in general for them, just because okay, so let's say in an ideal scenario, you walk in, you catch like 2 heroes with Ravage, because they have so many range heroes that it's going to be hard to get more than that. Well, then Seneko still has his ultimates. On top of that, you've got a Chen with both of his ulti and his mech. So you need burst damage as a follow-up, but that is the one thing LGD lack very sorely.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
NaVi, we'll see whether or not that potential team fight tears them at all, but like you said, very hard to pull off. And we're not even saying they can pull off with Kunkka just level 5. Getting close to that level 6 mark, but mid lane where Dicharaz is kind of pushing by himself. Will get caught by an X-Torrent, but that's not really all too concerning for Dicharaz.
Oh, that is a lot of damage.
Similarly, Nico though needs to be a bit careful. He took a decent chunk of damage himself as Tier 1 does go down. Yeah. I mean, they're pushing Tier 1s with just 2 heroes there. Chen shows up now, but
Dire's
push
top
was
he's got the
tower is
Satyr.
under attack.
Got the Satyr with the weird tongue beard. 6 HP regen, man.
Oh yeah. The tongue beard.
You know what I'm talking about though. Once you click the hero, completely makes sense, and as we can see, Dendi's gonna push that top wave.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And Dendi can either join up with his team or even just keep pushing by himself. I don't even think NaVi necessarily need him in this mid lane.
I mean, what's gonna happen? They pop a Ravage on a throw with Vegas.
Yeah. Like you say, you can just Oracle save him and then back off. You've got Chen with the heals. What's Chen? Is that a mech? Yeah, it's a full mech.
Art style Dota.
It's the classic art style, have 5-minute arcane boots and 12-minute item like mech 4 stuff, regardless of hero.
Alright, here comes Xiaowei. He is getting hurt.
One of the Ravages get a grave, will keep him alive now. Ghost though, pretty good, but it's just gonna catch one. The mech is instantly there, and ultimately, the impact of that ultimate entirely negated. NaVi, yep, we'll get a free Tier 2 tower. Dicharaz with the Dragonlance.
That was so well done by NaVi. They corralled Xiaowei. They made sure that he was nuked down, so he can't re-engage. Either he pops the Ravage right there in a really terrible position, or he just has to completely back and NaVi don't have to fear it anyways. And NaVi now in a position where pushing the pace, this maybe Alchemist desperately wants to Radiance before he fights.
That's not going to happen right now. Going to be forced to fight Xiaowei. holding the Ravage, but he instantly gets brought down so low on HP. And the sustain with the mech, the Hand of God, the Oracle, Purifying Flames is just going to continue to build up this push.
Yeah, art style almost has his mech up, and more importantly, his ultimate is still available. They have so many different mana creeps.
There's no Metamorph too. TB's just said, I gotta go top, guys. What's the point of me coming to a fight as a melee carry with no items?
Yeah.
Can't actually contribute anything.
Yeah.
Perhaps a reflection, but...
Pop the aura, so NaVi do want to push with this wave if they possibly can.
Yep.
He's just going to continue to pluck away at the tower.
Is under attack.
B's just hoping he can get like a top tier 1 tower, and yeah, like you say, NaVi going to continue pushing. They've still got a decent couple of minutes on the Aegis. General's held onto the Necrobox for now. Arrow will catch Jiawei. They commit to this one. They will not quite burst him down. Grave comes jumping, and the Ghost Ship used as well, so...
Doesn't land.
Jumped the gun a bit. Didn't need that one to save him, but now they're just going to focus those creeps and Necrobooks onto the tower. Jiawei needs to TP in and hit a Ravage, but as soon as that TP comes, you got to imagine NaVi can back off, reposition.
They still have the Hand of God, David.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for LGD.
They get Rax here.
Yeah. Aggressive is just top lane. He still doesn't have Metamorph. This is 5 seconds away. He couldn't actually fight.
Yeah, I think he honestly made the best possible decision.
Yeah.
He said, well, there's no way that they're going to fight into that, especially not the Aegis. Dro might as well just give it up, but as I say that, now that Dro has a full Hurricane Pike.
Well, and even with the Aegis now expiring, it's not like if you're LGD, you think, all right, Aegis is down, let's smoke up and take it. But no, what items have you actually got? You don't have a Blink on Tide, you don't have any items. You're out, even if out finishes a Radiance, he can't really teamfight just because he's got Radiance. He's still paper.
Yeah. I will say though, good news for LGD is that NaVi isn't getting a ton of levels. That is the one place where it's only about 2,000. That's not that bad. That's one WoD team fight, and LGD are suddenly ahead in that category. And a lot of that is just because NaVi have the 5-man so heavily. But I think NaVi are going to challenge LGD once again. Come on and take this team fight, and LGD will not oblige.
This is where there's tier 2 towers up, and you haven't got Aegis. Just take the outer towers, and while you wait for... Take the outer towers, take map control, wait for Roche to come back up. As it stands, Dendy Dip. Scepter complete. He's often farming and pushing lanes by himself. This gives him faster farming and even some solo kill potential now.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But they see Hero's bottom. If anything, you want to fluff those TPs back. Make LGD defend their high ground.
Where's the big hero here? The out maybe doesn't have a TP. Oh, they need the Acid Cloud so bad.
Yeah, this is a really late TP back. There we go. He's gonna buy his Radiance, but damage made Radiance down. They're gonna go in Dietra Ra. An Oracle behind him to help him out. They're not gonna actually pull off the X. They just try to bait out the spell. Dietra Ra taking a lot of damage from the side. There's the fortunate Ravage catches a lot. Dietra Ra gets hit by the Ghost Ship. The damage may be enough. It's gonna be close. Dietra Ra still being killed. I think he'll be just enough damage to bring him down. Artstyle now, the next in line. The X is there. They can pull him back into the torrent. Artstyle invis up though. Is he actually going to get away? Artstyle.
Walk at him! Oh no!
Oh.
LGD.
No, it's the Artstyle effect. You see this guy doing something crazy and you're just like, what do I do? What do I do? Panic, panic.
They still got a good amount of damage, but that's what we were talking about, is that LGD game where they can slow it down. More importantly, they killed the Drow Ranger, who heavily overestimated how much his team was going to be able to help him, as the mech and the Hand of God weren't used at maybe the best times to help him out. NaVi are going to have to completely reset here. Most likely going to have to wait for the next Aegis before they take another fight like that.
I feel like the Hurricane Pike wasn't necessary this early on. Normally, like, why just stick to Dragonlance into BKB? Even just go for a Manta or get a casual Yasha.
Yeah, I think the casual Yasha would have been...
The core staff aspect doesn't really give you much. It's fine to upgrade it later, like when you have a couple other items, but...
That's a huge investment. That's 3k gold.
Not sold on that.
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, okay. Yeah, because it's not something you see every day, but at the same time, it doesn't really help out with damage dealing in MMY. Well, just getting picked to pieces.
You can see his response to that teamfight was to immediately pick up an Ogre Club, and he's thinking, grab a BKB, push high ground with BKB into Tide.
Yeah, make life
it's
harder.
simple. Not rocket science, and perhaps next time it won't just be a BKB, but an Aegis as well as the Roche timer comes up. 48 seconds. NaVi want to be a bit patient. They can wait for it, but not necessarily their strong suit being patient. Artsel was still like pushing forward while the rest of the team was like, no, we back off here.
Seneko had a Fate Seed DRL when the boat flew in. I think it was the boat that kind of put things over the top.
Yeah. I was thinking, I really couldn't tell if it was going to live or not, because there's so many, it's not just the Oracle healing him. If you had the Chen Mech and Hand of God during Fortune's End, during the False Promise, it can be a huge amount of sustain for the Drow there. Yeah.
One concern right now for LGD is how poor their Tidehunter is, who does have a fair amount of levels, but at the same time, you'd really like to see the mech on this, because we see what happens every single time is that Xiao 8 is put into these positions where he walks in, paints like he's going to ravage, but you can't do that without that mech. They simply just burst you down.
Yeah. And you try walk in, you get Disgusted, you're going to take a lot of damage. They burst you down so fast that the Ravage comes out. It's not even about the Kraken being able to get off the silence. You just die instantly.
Good news, though, for LGD is that their Alchemist is starting to pick up a heavy amount of farm. He's starting to get online, and Aggressive did the smart thing there. He gave up the racks, but he also starting to pull ahead. And NaVi might get 1 or 2 good chances at this before LGD finally start to utilize their lineup strength. Full Manta style now.
Not bad. TB coming online, but it's Deecher out very close to a BKB, and with Aegis, the next objective for NaVi, LG have to decide where they want to contest this one. They've got pretty heavy team fight. Arrow Cannon and Banana. Deadly blinks in, hits the double Starstorm, but Banana will be grave to keep him alive. Necrobooks not going to chase Banana there. They get pulled back to help secure Roche.
Better decision, I think.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What do you do about this one? Arrow, catches MMY on the back lines. Terrorblade running in with the Metamorphosis. He does a lot of damage here. The Invis coming out. There's the detection there. Xiao Wei gonna survive for now. Gets up one last Anchor Smash before he gets too low. Dendi will leap himself away. Needs some heals to help him out here, but False Promise will cover for him for now as he gets brought back to near full HP. NaVi get drawn out of the Roche pit.
Very hesitant to fight. They don't really have anything going for them, as Artstyle doesn't have the best creeps. Lost his only stun there.
It's still a Ravage-less LGD squad. And a Metamorphosis that's about to wear up. And I think LG realized they've got to make use of this Metamorphosis as fast as they can. Dendi won't get it. Oh, just barely gets a chance to leap at the end there. Out tries to chase.
Tower is under attack.
Deecher on the side. Next up without a BKB. Forced up. Okay, that's where the Hurricane Pike pays off. Maybe. He's blocking the high ground. Can't actually attack. Then he comes back in. He almost gets the kill, but doesn't quite. Aggressive gets the Sunder on maybe, and the Radiance damage kills Dendi. Blinked in for that kill. That's Dendi trying to be that big playmaker, and all of a sudden, William.
That's what we were talking about. That even though NaVi are going to be having to take that first rack, it's the second one that really determines where the pace of the game goes. And during that time, LGD, when they repelled that first push, maybe got all that farm.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the Terrorblade used so much of the push time to just rack up last hits. Now LGD in our position, yeah, they're down a set of racks, but they're still incredibly happy with the direction of this game. Despite how poor their Tidehunter is, the game no longer revolves around him. It's this Alchemist and this Terrorblade. And you realize, NaVi, they have no frontliners. They can't run into these heroes.
And it's not the general from last game with a huge amount of farm, where it's like, okay, it's fine, we'll just have general who can take out 1 or even 2 heroes every single team fight. He's still working on that Necro 3. Still building it up. I mean, they can kind of go into a farm mode here, but Dendi eats up a lot of farm on the map, as does Deecher. So it won't be easy to do so.
In these two teams, they just... Fun ways. Entertaining games, to say the least, as maybe now completes that Manta. I think the more Mantas that you start to see NaVi heavily lacking in the disabled department, Mantas are going to pay off.
This is where just probably thinking, okay, I need to go transition into that Ags Mjolnir type build. I think deal with all these illusions.
I think he's heavily regretting this choice now.
The BKB?
The Hurricane Pike.
Oh yeah, that one for sure. The BKB, yeah. So,
imagine if he had a BKB at that top fight.
Oh yeah.
Would not die.
They didn't even need to go for that push bed in there. They had still a window before Alpha and TB were going to become problems. But it's LGD pushing forward, recognizing that they are now strong with an Aegis in their front line and
How do you
Alchemist.
kill me? What is this game turned into?
We have gone right back the other way.
I'm actually favoring LGD now. Maybe quite heavily, actually.
GD, aggressive, and heavy damage to the mana. Also, Dichara has to pop the BKB just to prevent the X. He can't get much tempo go. He can look to go on maybe here. The Raw in the north is going to be looking for Banana. Brought down without getting his goals on the Ravage. Hits too nicely. Dendi, the one they want, but where's the detection? General kept alive by the Invis. Dendi leaps to the low ground, and LGD have lost 2. Arrow. Not going to land. The chase is on. They know there's no Ravage in. We saw this last game, that Moonlight Shadow and what it can do. Gotta respect the Invis.
They really have to be more prepped for that. They know the possibility. They really only had one piece of detection on both of their supports combined. It just seems like LGD are almost allergic to grabbing sentries and putting them on the ground with that push. And LGD, they get repelled back.
Kunkka had the sentries on him, but he was the one who died before he could get off like a spell. He didn't even get to use it to Torrent our boat, so... That was the big undoing there for LGD.
Still in an okay position though, as they didn't really lose anybody too critical. They did lose their 2 supports, but now Xiaoyi's going to finish that mech, and Terrorblade just continues.
Is he going Blink, perhaps? He's saving up money. Has actually money for a mech. The buckler is a great item just because it's so much physical damage.
Maybe he just thinks, okay, my game's been pretty ruined.
When you can catch NaVi by surprise, try to get to the back line. Might get the Oracle as well in the Ravage potentially with the Blink. But yeah, I guess just having a more reliable way to start fights off.
Yeah, maybe gonna run in head first. Really needs that Octarine core before he's a beast.
Yeah, he's close to it, but still needs a bit more. Sending illusions out, NaVi pressing forward, but don't really see them likely attempting a high ground push at this stage, given how the last few team fights went. They're trying to take advantage of the Ravage being down, which is why they want to fight, but pushing high ground as 5 is a whole nother matter to just straight up team fight. That's the Axe, so he's got
all his Axe.
Yeah, he's got the nice Granite Golem. Didn't get the Thunderhide, but got the Thunderhide. Didn't get the Black Dragon, but Thunderhide did get some nice buffs over the last few patches. That Frenzy on the teammate, and good bonus attack speed.
It's a bit booster to everybody.
Frenzy is what, Hyperstone for whoever you use it on. 75 attack speed. That's value, man. Better than the Hyperstone.
Attack speed aura on it as well. And that underrated slam. Wiggle your body, creep.
The underrated slam. I don't know about that.
It's definitely underrated.
It's like worse than the thunderclap.
Underrated. It's the radius really that makes it horrible.
Yeah, I thought you were about to sell me on the radius. Like you're like it's underrated. It's the radius. Like wait, are you talking about the same group?
Well, there is a lot of melee heroes, David, for your information.
Okay.
When LGD decided to get up close and personal,
I don't think Kunkka is getting up close. TP wants the Manimal.
You won't be laughing for long.
Look, man, if he hits if he hits a multi-hero slam from that ancient Thunderhide.
Dude, that's a 2-second slow and 50 damage for 250 radius.
Jeez. Yeah, that's gonna be game changing.
Really, where you start to make the perks happen. That is only 100 range more than Beastmaster's auto attack. Pretty rough.
Well. Now, Alk. See, God, it's not going to be the Octarine. You go Shivers first. Better fighting item. Does give you a smaller window to fight if you've not got the cooldown reduction, but... Oh, no, okay, he gets the Shivers recipe and then he buys the Soul Booster. Okay, that's one way of building an Octarine core.
It's the roundabout way.
Not the recommended way of doing it, but...
I guess he just values the armor so he can go toe-to-toe with the Draw Ranger, but at the same time, the lowered cooldown...
The recipe doesn't give you armor, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get it either. I'm just trying to make some...
He second-guessed himself, is I guess what it is.
He's got buyback. As a result, he's Still would have it if you had to play
Yeah.
Mel. I don't know.
Hey, this has been a weird series, you know. I mean, these teams have not been playing their best Dota is the other thing. We talked about NaVi not really living up to expectations, and similar for LGD, they do have the stand-in, of course. But right now, game 2, very tight. And the Rax advantage for NaVi, but a late game carry advantage for LGD, and we are kind of in that late game stage, despite it only being 30 minutes with how farm TV and Alchemist are.
Yeah, Archstyle just dragging his creeps along, and I think NaVi are a little bit stuck right now, David. I think they're in a position where they're not 100% sure, because if they take a fight and it goes bad, that is like a guaranteed 5k gold for the Alch to just farm in the time period that it takes you to get to the next fight. If the game continues like this, we talked about how crucial this Alchemist is, because he is the real focal point of this team. But at the same time, it's not like the TV is a slouch. He's eclipsed the other two top net worth heroes on the side of NaVi, and it's not like NaVi have the best heroes to deal with illusions, bar Dendy's constant Starstorms.
Yep.
Do it. Dendy looks ahead, but right now LGD get the chance to start pushing out these lanes a bit. I think NaVi may look to adopt a bit of what they did last game, which is just keep all lanes pushed out, keep LGD back. For now, LGD are playing somewhat cautious. Rush has respawned. That's something we've seen NaVi obviously play around, try to push high ground around. This one maybe not as easy to go for. Curious to see what Dicha does go for. I mentioned the transition into the Axe build to help deal with the illusions. Whether that'll be the pickup or if he just wants the single target damage.
Growbook's popped, and Moke's gonna be picked up on the Dazzle. Looks like they are tending to pick a fight, knowing that the Roche is up. If they can get another Aegis on a maybe, that would allow him to just straight up go for all the items that he wants. And a full Scotty now on this Terrorblade, he's gonna be a beast in these fights. NaVi in a position where they have to fight, but any sort of fight just kind of automatically loses in the game if they lose.
It's an Alch with Octarine and buyback now, so
yeah.
It's not like you can be like, oh, kill me, just got Octarine. No, he'll have buyback if you go with
No, honestly, this is a really rough position for NaVi to be in, because they know they have to push. If they don't push, then Alch will just continue to do Alchemist things. If they push and lose, they lose that fight, then LGD can almost just secure themselves the win here. So they're gonna go for the Roshan instead, but I think LGD have every intention of contesting.
Yeah. They've got illusions top pushing things out, they've got TB in mid, they smoke up, I believe under creeps, but if anything it's just let's get to the Roshan pit. Sure are gonna find some Alch illusions, scouting things out to start it off, and here goes the Blink, Ravage on 3, including to Nico. He won't get off, he tries to fall from it himself, doesn't get it off, and instantly they lose 2. Ichira was sent back to base by the Chen. Fast reaction from Archstyle will save his buddy, but it could lose them Roche. Dicha TP's back in, but what's he really TPing into? They can't fight even with Ravage down. LGD will secure Roche, but will have to get themselves back to base right after. Some damage may be dealt. General has a Necro 3, he's already posturing to go for this top lane. He blinks in, but the TP was preemptively coming. You see next, the torrent there as well. General going to be brought down, and it's Dendy at bottom, hitting the tier 3. I kind of like the response from NaVi, even though they lose General there.
There's a cheese in there. Okay.
Alright, Dicha says thank you very much.
That is...
Everyone had to get out to defend against the split push. So.
Yeah, but did maybe just forget? Deny it at least.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you're thinking you can send a courier or come back for it, but...
Yeah, okay, so now it looks like... Are they going to send the courier? No. Alright, well that's just free cheese for that drove. And especially with that BKB, it can function as that Aegis that needs, but we're seeing Navi's true problem right now. They can't sustain, they don't have a frontliner, and they just don't deal enough damage. That Alchemist is about to get 6-slotted.
And Dendy, Lincoln Sphere is not going to be the item to solve your damage problems. It will help keep you alive. Prevent you from getting initiated on by the X marks the spot, but still going to be a very tough game for NaVi from here on out.
Yeah, it's the rest of the team that struggles to survive. Is we saw how quickly Aggressive takes down those Chen creeps by himself, and
yeah, you have these big ancients, you think like it's a huge deal, but a Metamorph TB with 3-4 illusions will instantly take out the Granite Golem.
Alright, so Alch, 4,100 gold on him. Now that Shiva's recipe, it's gonna save him time. That's the cool part. Now it's come full circle.
Oh no, it's back on the courier though.
Yeah. Once it's at the secret shop, never by the secret shop you get it, and one go is forced to pop a BKB. Crucial charges being lost here.
Now Sal doesn't really have an escape plan himself. Maybe will chase down the Chen, and I think very likely we see a push come out after this, and fighting into this is very difficult. The split push is out. NaVi have recognized it seems like their only way to win this game is to split push and try and catch LGD without TPs or cancel their TPs when they try to defend and just trade effectively. Dendi wants creeps on the high ground. Unfortunately, there's no creeps pushing in the top lane. And Octarine Alchemist has a very low cooldown on TP. Just 33 and a bit seconds means he can TP back to the vent and then TP push as well.
NaVi do wave clear very quickly though. That Drow Ranger with the Aghanim's actually does wave clear pretty fast, but the problem though, still LGD is pretty monstrous to fight against, and now they've had to bring their Beastmaster back for the ensuing fight.
Maybe he's just going to run on high ground and challenge NaVi. Wants him to come out, get the Manta Style to get out of the disarm, and it's Dichara trying to deal with the LGD push, but the damage just isn't really there. LGD just slowly whittling away at this tier 3 tower. Aggressive doesn't have Metamorphosis, so maybe interested in regrouping and not taking a full-out push right now, but NaVi have other interests in mind. They catch him with the arrow, but it's Yahweh. Ravage it on 4 OG General, not full, but they instantly lose Dichara. Drow out of the picture without buyback, and that's going to be the signal to charge. Art Style, first target they want to go on. Maybe channeling up the stun. Maybe skip to Nico if he can get him, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Chases the Oracle back to the side, and with a couple right clicks, he's trying to bring down the Oracle. The evasion from the Solar Crest helping him out, but NaVi dropping. Their base very vulnerable here. They've taken out some of the supports of LGD, but the cores, they hold strong. They're still healthy, and as a result, it's going to be LGD doing some significant damage here to the NaVi high ground. Dendi still trying to do what he can. Has the support of the Chen creep army, but maybe healing back up with the Chemical Rage will take out the tier 3 tower. Dendi now being chased around, maybe being kited a bit here by the Moran. If anything, he may just try and focus down the buildings, but without TB in the front lines as well, decides it's time to back off.
They can happily reset after that. They got a fair amount of kills. They pushed NaVi back. They got that tier 3 tower most importantly, and it just continued to snowball as NaVi. The good news for them though is that Dendi is really annoying for LGD to take down.
Yeah, they actually, their control lockdown, I mean, it could be the X Torrent, but we're seeing Banana die very early in these fights, and you've got to deal with the Lincolns too. So
Dendi's trying to will his way to a victory, and it does seem a little bit unlikely because this Alchemist.
Dendi can get big enough. He gets like the E-Blade and the Dagon. You start looking at some good late game potential out of this Murano.
Yeah, but wait for this Alch to give everybody on his team an Ags.
Yeah.
Except the Terrorblade. Well, 10 all stats is okay. It's like
did you see the outgame earlier with TNC?
Huh?
He pulled all of his teammate didn't even have Ags upgrade, and he pulled them all an Ags upgrade before he even pulled himself an Ags upgrade. He was pulling like his Slardar and Ags before himself.
I think you might as well. It's like ulti for your entire team.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was just funny because he gave them the Ags before. Alchemist I've ever seen.
What a boss.
That was pretty good. That was the LGD, well, probably having flashbacks to that game and like, yeah, we can go late game with Ags. That's what TNC did to us.
The Ags are kind of okay on LGD side.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see the Kunkka one more than...
We had a Kunkka Ags in that game and I didn't really notice. It's pretty crap from all I could see and from what I've seen in the past, but...
Well,
you can still BKB during it is the thing.
The weave is something.
Yeah. I like that. It covers like the whole screen, that circle.
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
ridiculously big.
It's already pretty massive.
And then you get the extra armor per second. It's a almost 50% increase in how much armor you're getting.
It might actually be the Tide one that's the most effective. AoE Gush.
Yeah.
Double damage.
Downside,
I think
though,
Dazzle's like close second, but yeah, Tide is pretty good.
I just want to see the Kunkka one because I haven't seen it before.
Wish fulfilled. Shut away!
dangerously getting to that territory though, where we're gonna have to start being friend his team needs. Everybody line up.
We'll see about that. The most? He can replace his armlet still will. The moon shard, replace the armlet. Probably
selflessness. Remember we saw the other day. Selflessness is how.
I agree on that. Oh, Dandy. I think that's protection from. Is on the tide, but not going to catch him. And General is just positioned to split push. He's got a glyph that he can force out here, and very likely will do so. They glyph it, but it's at 16 HP, so power gonna be taken out by the boar.
Oh, he does get
Hero
it.
Boar.
It's pretty big.
Oh, he's staying there. Doesn't have Necrobooks for some time, but he wants to be in position to make the same play.
I mean, what else is he gonna do at this point?
And this is the game right now. At least the next like 10-15 minutes of this game, I feel for NaVi is just push from Dendy, split push from General.
Yep. This has become your life, NaVi. We saw it yesterday in DC versus MVP. DC finally did
the resolution game, yeah.
Yeah. They don't have a morph. They would love a morph right now.
Yep.
But they will take a Beastmaster.
Top lane out. Getting very close to catching out Nico. Doesn't quite get in range of the stun. Jawei, what's the play? Not gonna go for it.
That did save maybe though. His stun hitting himself.
Yeah.
Because the arrow was on its way and alright, first axe has been purchased. Is it 2? To himself. Son of a... There's so many better axe heroes! To eat moon shards! What's wrong with you? Isn't moon shards better to eat, please? If you were gonna just put it on yourself...
Wait. I'm sure he's telling his team, oh, I missed the... Guys, whoops. It's like the... You lose mid, like you get solo, it's like, I lagged. What happened?
What did I just watch? I was frantically clicking all the heroes. Maybe. Not okay.
Is under attack.
The thing is, all of his teammates minus the TV have an axe upgrade.
It's some of them not so great, but yeah, they're not game-winning ags, but they're upgrades.
Even giving it to the TV, TV thrives on stats.
Yes. Alright, TB is better than Alk with those stats. So Nico. Trouble. Okay. Maybe an outplay here. Was a Ravage coming out from Jawei. That was on General up to the side. Meanwhile, Nico completely juked maybe stun. There we go. General. Pull out.
That is now 3 times in a row maybe has stunned himself. That is Dota telling him something.
Yep. BKB at mid, teacher rise. Barely gonna make it out.
I think it's... maybe not. Alright, well now they're kind of pushing all the lanes. Xiaoyi doesn't have that Ravage available. NaVi of course cannot exploit that. They're in a game where they pretty much just have to play split push Dota. Yep. And they are going to run into Dendy here. Like this is going to get popped. No sort of follow up though, as he's just going to TP to freedom.
Then he's got the E-Blade. Next step I can only imagine is going to be the Dagon build. And it's no longer just a split push game, it's also kind of a pick-off game where you can use that first damage to try find kills. Although it's only really the Beastmaster and Mirana who can find kills. The other 3 heroes... I mean, the other 3 heroes just aren't really playing Dota anymore. Like, there's so little they can do. If you're a Chen, you sit behind your forwards trying to send them back and save them if needed, but here come LGD ready to push. Looking like a lane of Rack ready to be claimed. Beastmaster will now respawn, maybe in the front lines. Doesn't have Aegis anymore. Needs to be a little bit careful, but Rack has been claimed. Dendy will bounce his way in to clear some illusions, but
he didn't even have Ravage for this fight.
Really?
LGD kind of just went ahead and did that.
It was the Ag stats that made the difference, really. There.
It really did.
I think without those stats, I think NaVi would have had the first damage to bring him down.
Did see him get all the way down to 1800 health. Alright, he's got another one coming up. Just give it to Ty.
What happens if you try to eat a second one? Does it let you eat it and then it just disappears? Or it probably just won't let you eat it.
Maybe.
Dandy's been caught. The torrent will land, the boat will not, he leaps out just in time. Aggressive meanwhile, likely will be forced to sunder here. Doesn't have Metamorphosis. This is the time indeed for NaVi to fight, but it's quickly gone astray as they just don't have the damage to take down LGD. Chen creeps, making a journey towards lane. This is the backdoor party now. What does this game become?
And art style was certainly dead. They just kept beating on him. They couldn't find anybody else. The Oracle ulti was on him. It must have slapped him like 30 times.
Yeah.
It was way more than enough, but
I feel like he just wants to use his creeps to split push at this point.
Yeah. They don't provide a purpose in teamfights anymore.
Yeah. They just die too fast in TB. Yeah, the HP from the Grand Column is nice, but it could definitely change something. You know, it's like everyone having Acceptor stats or something, but it's not going to win you a fight.
Wait, he bought something for somebody.
Oh, Alchemist.
Invisibility.
Acceptor, or maybe. Maybe he was just punishing his team. It was like, I've got an axe, someone come get it, and no one came to him. For an Alch, if you have to go to your teammates, like, no, not about that life.
He does, it's on the courier now. Alright. But he didn't buy moon shards. I thought he was, I would have laughed so hard if he bought moon shards himself.
Poked away by Dendi.
Oh
no. Dendi didn't have the Lincoln Spear, it was broken, but the Roar and Banana prevented the torrent timing, and General will throw away his life to save Dendi.
That was very well done though by General.
Yeah.
Without that, Dendi surely would have gone down. That's a pretty big death spree for him.
Bottom lane meanwhile, Teacher, fighting with aggressive. Oh, that Hurricane Pie. Did he just use an illusion? I believe so.
Bishop did pop this BKB. He wants to continue to chase.
Really wants to find Joe, but doesn't look like he'll guess right as far as where Teacher is running to. He's just still with that cheese from before, by the way.
Alright, so MMY has the courier flying over his head repeatedly. The sign.
Out.
Yes.
Alright.
Here we go, the 10,000 weave AoE.
Oh.
That's, you can't miss the spell now. It's gonna hit everything.
I'm hovering over it, and you can't even see the circle lines like when you're centered on the dazzle. It's bigger than the screen.
It is significantly bigger than the screen. Main reason for that is that you can catch your teammates and the enemy team, which is pretty rare to do with weave. Now it looks like LGD are just gonna push in this mid wave. Gotta make sure that NaVi don't have any avenue to go for the split push.
Wait, that circle's actually the cast range. Whoa!
The Ravage.
Thinking.
Not gonna hit his. I need to be incredibly happy with that trade.
So Dicha now looking for some illusion clear. Has the Maelstrom, likely upgraded next. NaVi have got to be kicking themselves considering how well positioned they were 15 minutes in this game. Now they find themselves struggling.
It was that one push at top.
Yeah.
They are going to regret that push for a long time coming. Just, it wasn't even the fact that they did it, it was the execution of it. Because they were in a good spot. The Alch hadn't TP'd yet, remember how far away he was? They initially went for that push. It looked like all the circumstances were going to work out in their favor. NaVi, they were going to smoke, knowing that there is no Ravage available, and finally going to try to take it to them, or maybe they just go in for the road.
It's not like a game changer, but it's at least a small little boost to their overall team fight.
They're immediately going to get spotted out though.
I know there's no Ravage, but I think LGD, even a Ravage plus LGD, could try and take this fight.
NaVi is finally grouped up for you.
And I think they're scared of the Aegis is the thing. I will pass over the cheese and take the Aegis. Cheese going to art style. And already the split push is coming out. Dendi TP's up top. You think, I kind of talked about the Dagon like it's maybe going to be the item for Dendi. Do you think there's any consideration towards actual like DPS split push type items, or do you just need to kill the damage?
With the Ags, you're pretty heavily committed.
Okay.
But all your items right now on Dendi are purely magic / survivability. None of them are centered around physical teamfight. He would have to change pretty much every single item, bar the Boots of Travel and maybe the Lincolns. Because if you don't have the Ags anymore, because you don't really deal physical damage, then you no longer need the Blade or the Blink Dagger. You have to go like Butterfly, MKB, Dallas, but that would be way too hard of a tech switch.
I'm seeing maybe swap things out. Gets the Scythe of Vice now for himself. Or about to. We saw this early today as well with TNC with the Alchemist. You want that extra bit of lockdown, and you've got the short cooldown from the Octarine.
LGD have learned a lot from the TNC, it seems like.
This is such a repeat of that game with the TNC it was the exact same thing. LGD were 5-manning, crushing, they took a lane of Rax early. It wasn't a Drow strat, they actually did it with like a Tide Morphling, but just early push, and they made TNC just held high ground with Alchemist and Terrorblade. What do you know? And now we find ourselves with LGD versing the cards, and they are looking good.
This is a game that NaVi can't afford to lose either, just for points alone.
Yeah, this would be 7 losses then. 3 wins, 7 losses, and that's with 14 games total. So best case scenario is a 7-7 score, which could get you top 4, but those last 4 games are against some stiff competition. Dendi! They see, and they also see General that's looking for both here. The stun will follow Dendi. Looks like he actually used the Hex accidentally on the Linkers, but they do follow him post-blink. Now Dendi on the run has a leap in 8 seconds, but does not have a way out of the X. Loses the courier.
Did spike kill it.
And
now Diarra force stabs himself in.
Now can't full stop himself out though. They have an escape though. The Oracle behind him as well as Chen nearby, and that Mjolnir does some good damage. Especially on a tanky hero like Titan, a banana there, and low as well. May need a grave in just a second, but it's on cooldown. Dichara with the BKB, gonna take out one, gonna take out a second. Dichara looking good here, but now he's been hexed up, and with Jiawei keep blinking back in, suddenly the tide's turned. Dichara with the Aegis, the send back will keep him alive. Pop the Aegis, he likely dies twice there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, keeping themselves in this game, doing a tiny little bit of structural damage. This is where DHRI is finally actually scary again. Like, he was scary the first 15 minutes, and then he spent the last half an hour being a non-factor. Now he's finally re-entered the arena.
Good news for him is that everybody from LGD wasn't 100% gathered up. There was no Ravage either on their side. And they knocked so much HP off of Xiao 8 that he couldn't re-engage. And NaVi trying to bring it back. They're doing an okay job of that so far. They just need a little bit more though, as this Alchemist is probably going to buy Moon Shards for himself.
Dude, I don't... how does Artstyle outperform the Beastmaster as Chen? How does he do this? What's up with this guy? He's an AC in 2.4k.
Are you surprised, man?
I'm not. I'm surprised because it's a Chen. You know, like some heroes, you're Dazzle. Like, yeah, I can see how a hero like Dazzle can farm and push. I guess Chen, you just do it with your creeps and in the jungle and you push lanes with them. But
dude, you saw Diarra just farm the enemy camps. Cause got this, man.
Oh, well, things are still looking very tough for Natus Vincer. There we go. Denny's picked up the Dagon one. Just upgrading that, holding on to buyback money, I imagine.
It's still kind of okay though. NaVi is not out of it quite yet. Their supports are getting, like you said, a very good amount of farm. That's going to make quite a difference against upkeep. You force aggressive into a position where he has to buy an MKB even though he doesn't really want to.
And NaVi is still building up in terms of items. There's a refresher that'll come out on Beastmaster. Drow will have an MKB to help deal with the Radiance. There's items that they are building up to have a stronger and doable late game. Like your Alchemist is actually maybe going to struggle to go toe-to-toe DHRI once he has an MKB.
Yeah, I think NaVi, it's winging back the other.
Yeah.
The series is just a pendulum.
If anything, it felt like LGD should have been able to... Like, they hit their power spike 5-10 minutes ago, and they haven't capitalized on it. They got the one little lane of Rax, but... Felt like, oh, we got mid lane of Rax, game's over, let's just fall back, pull some Ag Scepters, you know, let's just Ag Scepter and chill, okay? Yeah. Fine art style here. Again, that's not really too big a deal though for NaVi. But, yeah, they're just too laid back, too complacent in the fact that, like, oh, we've got the better quote-unquote late game.
Moonshard's now eaten by this Alchemist. Good news for him though is that he still has Ags to give out.
Yep. You're gonna see that Kunk Ag still.
Yeah, Oprah himself. Got a lot of room to grow.
Yeah. This one's coming soon. It's already up to 7k gold again.
All the net worth concentrated on these top 2 heroes from LGD, and like you said, they might have missed their timing windows. NaVi they have a lot of farm on all their heroes. That AC is gonna kind of pay off on this Chen. Yeah. And now there's an MKB, like you said.
It is net worth you can redistribute by pulling Titanags, pulling Kunkanags, but these are not heroes that... I mean, the Tide I think does scale quite well, but Kunkka, Dazzle, these heroes kind of have reached their peak. They don't get scarier necessarily, unless you're talking about getting big items of their own outside of, like, if Kunkka can transition into a DPS build, but that's not the case. He's not in that
They
position.
are never going to get farm.
No.
There's an alchemist.
The prize is mine.
If you could actually literally pull items, then yeah, right now the play would be for maybe to this Kunkka DPS items, turn him into a carry, but that is just not a possibility.
He has more than enough money now for my back.
Oh, the vision from the ward. General's being caught out. Nice catch coming from LGD.
The boss said you had
I mean, you've got to pull back here.
Yep.
Can't afford to get caught out like this, and
Dire's
these are going to be successful. As Dire Courier gets killed by Dendi.
Deja vu from 5 minutes ago.
Dude, that's annoying for maybe who's
Wants to pull Ag Scepters.
Yeah. 10k gold, man. Give your team some ags. Cool about it. We start to slowly transition into the ultra late game. 60 minutes coming up as LGD are trying to push back all the lanes, but NaVi are doing a good job of just extending their lifeline here.
Exactly. You hold on and it's like this anything can happen kind of mentality. You feel like you're in a stalemate, your opponents can't really push, you don't know at some point if they're going to get impatient. It's LGD, they don't get impatient, but they also can't just sit here forever.
Sure they can.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen LGD play. I mean,
they've done it for an hour.
what's 1 hour more? It is also your last game of the day, so
Why
over to Group B.
Why risk anything? This is the way that they feel like they can win the game. Absolutely.
Yep.
And okay, now all 3 lanes relatively pushed out. Banana's gonna try to meet his team at bottom half.
It's more at this point for LGD. It comes down to strategy, not. Like, as in, they've got all the items. Like, you see, if you're staying in the game longer, there's no, like, we're not staying in the game to farm more. It's like you're staying in the game to develop, like, some kind of strategy and way to win the game. You've got all the pieces of the puzzle.
That Drowags just... Oh. Okay, with the war drums aura from the Blizzard and that Frenzy.
Yeah,
he is...
Nice. Hurricane Pike. Dichara. And the Oracle plus Chen behind this Drow means there's a lot of protection for Dichara. They're getting the Solar Crest now. In the front lines, they try going the Kunkka, who uses the Yules to help keep himself alive.
He comes through this way too fast right now for LGD. Like, Dichara is...
He's over the hump. He had that ineffective mid-game roar coming in from behind. The double roar on the Rabbit Twins. Zhao Wei, he wanted to get it off before he died. He will manage to take out the Beastmaster and doesn't actually end up going down. Aggressive now with the minimals. This is BKB, charges forward. What's the need? Go to the X, will pull him back if he tries to get away. And maybe is fully healthy. Once Dichara taking away the master chip, getting up close. Aggressive down and out. That's a worry, and it's the Alchemist. Maybe he wants the drought. Oh no, I got it. Oh, the Hurricane Pike pushback. We doubted the item will. We will.
Safe.
Humble beat Dota. He had 64 HP. He manages to force not just out of the outstrength, but the Essence Cloud as well.
You know, I Hurricane Pike, go back to it, kind of crappy out in 15 minutes. Maybe here, 57 minutes in.
Dichara, absolute beast. NaVi played fight so perfectly. General just forced the inopportune Ravage from Xiao. You'd imagine if they had the Ravage in that situation, there's no way that LGD loses fight, but...
The Terribly just melted with all the
Mjolnir pokes.
I think it must have been Dendi or something. I didn't see him die either. It's gotta be Dendi.
Alright, so there's the Ravage. It only hits on Dendi, but they all ignore him. Both just kind of...
It doesn't get Sunder off, I'm guessing. Is this BKBs? Okay. We may have to cut back into the game though, as NaVi are going for a high ground push here. Zhao Wei, fly back to plenty, the Terrorblade, the Tide, they want to fight. Dendi, top lane. Oh, they've got
so
split
flip
push to
available.
worry about. It's at least one melee rack's going down, possibly more. And the pressure can quickly come back in bottom. Aggressive's already popped his BKB, and Dendy again, he's already in this bottom lane. The split push is proving very problematic.
Over the cliff.
Oh, he may pay for this with his life though.
He's gonna get the rack. They're gonna get Mega Streets.
Both racks at top lane, just the one remaining bottom, and Megas have been claimed. Yeah, wait, it's a dump. Packet goes flying through, doesn't land on anyone, and NaVi, have they done it? 59 minutes in.
I cannot believe that LGD lost this game. If they lose this game, there's still ags to give onto LGD.
It's not ags that are going to help though. I don't see those ags giving you what you need.
NaVi has delayed this game so long that their lineup strength has just swung back in a circle because there was a time period where LGD could not lose a team fight if they just fall up.
And that's the nature of the Terra play. Is at 35 to like 45 minutes in, these heroes are 6 slotted and nobody can fight them. But if the game drags 15-20 minutes and your opponents are farming during that time, suddenly they get
messing with him of Dota right now. D-Ra's got 11k gold, 5 moon shards for. I think he might have forgotten about them.
All I can say is the
Even care. Oh, we were joking, but now this Chen has a hex.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, D-Ra, buy your moon shards. All right, he doesn't even care.
The old savage wisdom of Drow strats needing to win games by 30 minutes or lose is definitely being shattered over the not just this game, but many games lately. We've been seeing these lineups go late game with this new axe build. MMY won't get the grave off. He's been hexed. He goes down. Dendy though maintains with his life. The Oracle with the false promise. Will that be enough to save him? We'll find out soon enough. Aggressive. Brought up. There's the Ravage. He gets pushed back. He needs to stun the target. The grave will help him out. He's been brought again. Aggressive. And he's thunder. It's going to be close. He goes down. Without that, Ichiro gets a double kill and it's the throne of LGD. That's gonna melt. Oh boy!
LGD, this
It's over.
The worst possible way they could have gone 2-0 in this series is they could have made a very good case to win both games, but instead they walk away, no wins here, and this has to be such a disappointment for them as NaVi breathe a sigh of relief. It took them a while. They
got
delayed and
4-0'd.
delayed. Look at General, he is beaming ear to ear. NaVi is now relaxed a little bit, and they go in tomorrow with much more motivation.
I mean, for LGD, those faces say it all.
Yeah, I think Aggressive is saying we had our timing. There's no way we can lose the fight. What happened?
I mean, the four players are
They're
just
not even looking
staring blankly at their screens. It's not even. It's the Captain Zhao 8 who is just like that. That expression to me is summed up in 3 words. What the fuck?
Yep.
Like what just happened? Like who's
All right.
LGD? Sure don't know. Well.